Are we good to go? Do we have the music? I think we are good to go. I'm going to do my usual intro thing in case people come in and see the start of this live stream. Sup, Shredders? My name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to the 17th. 17th. It's got to actually just adjust that there. It's the 17th $5 song reviews where we review your music for just $5. A song that you want me to check out. I've decided to put song reviews number 17 primarily because song requests can kind of just seem like you're putting a track forward for the sake of having it played. A review is feedback on music, and so that could be something that people are interested in. Either ways, welcome to this. We have ourselves a browser window on the screen. I've just updated OBS, and I'm assuming that OBS will work. I'm not quite sure. OBS does look very, very different than the time that I used it last time. If you're wanting to get a song reviewed, link is in the description. I think we're a few minutes late, but that's okay. Just going to go through the music news as per normal. Hopefully you guys have had a good week so far. If you want to chat, feel free to chat. If you want a song put forward, we can do that too. But either way, we're here. Yeah. Actually, there is a track that I've received a donation. Outside of these live streams, I'll chat to the person and ask them to try and put the requests in during the live streams, as this isn't supposed to be how it works. It's supposed to be that you request when you're at the live stream. I'll chat to them about like changing this for future, because that's something I need to sort of like message someone about to kind of figure that out. But either way, we've got a request from Limcheese, if I'm not mistaken, wherever that will be on here. Limcheese, cool. A commission. Coffee, there we go. Thank you. So we're going to do this for Limcheese 22. This will be the first track for today. And then we will see how things go from there. If we have others to do, that's fine. But either way, the queue is currently 1. Limcheese 22. And we're going to be checking out this track here. Which is Beyond. So it's nice to have a Beyond track. I don't think I've reviewed Beyond in a while, so that's cool. But yeah, cool. I didn't want to find that. I'm glad I could find it though. That's good use of the technology there. Limcheese, boom. This is a track from Beyond, and the title of the song is what is it? What is it? If we get this here, I think it's in these funny bracket things. Ultra high lossless sound quality. I don't think that's actually it. I think that it's actually meant to be this one. No More Hesitation. Okay, so let's listen to No More Hesitation, yeah? There you go. No More Hesitation. Let's go. Lots of buttons there. Is this got subtitles? No, it's okay. There we go. I shouldn't be a xylophone, wouldn't it? Interesting shift there. And those string flurries in the background are fantastic as well. It's just it's like the crowd singing, right? The crowd singing behind it with the guitar leads, the bass and drums, and the shakers and the xylophones and everything like that. It's fantastic. I don't think so, Blue Dinner Box. I mean, I don't recognize it. Interesting use of that cowbell there. Nice change of groove. Hello, Alvin. How are you today? You alright? Hopefully things are good where you guys are in the world. And I like the trade-off between the vocals and the guitar as well. I think that's well handled. So I think there's a lot of safe elements in this track. It's thanks again to Limcheese22 for their request. It's a track from an X Name Beyond titled No More Hesitation. I can kind of understand from the tone of the vocals why that would sound like that. I think that the singing there is energetic and they clearly sound like they want to be there. I think the glory, the tone of the guitar lines, the leads there, how they soar in the mix is fantastic. The guitar lines kind of pumping alongside it are fantastic, and I think the bass line reinforcing that low end of the harmony is great too. There is interesting sort of adjustments of the drum layers throughout and different percussive patterns. I think there are really sort of like interesting things going on with like little sort of xylophony, little occasional pops there, as well as the cowbell in the middle eight there. I like the alternate phrasings between the guitar and vocal leads as well. I think that's just great for, to keep people entertained and interested. I think like it's a successful song, and for many different reasons. I can understand why people would sing along to it. It sounds like a song that you might sing along to at a concert or something like that. There's a lot of vigor behind it, and I think that ultimately it's the overall motif of it is one that's quite positive. It does kind of make you feel like you can do anything you want to do without hesitation there, with the major leanings there, again with those guitars and the other elements there in the mid to high range there, and a real sense of like a shimmer and sheen to it through the post-production as well as the chord choices and the instrumental layers as well there. I don't think there's any harsh textures in it. It doesn't get you down. The studio recording, mixing and mastering is great there. I really appreciate... Hi Jacob, how you doing? I appreciate the way that we're handling things in regards to the 80s aesthetic with the reverbs on the vocals, as well as the guitar layers, the timeless tones on those leads. They're a fantastic, great sort of, they aren't over-processed. They sound like they'd be just good live. The performance in general was tight. The band can clearly play without a note out of place. It's a great use of the 4 minutes. No filler in it. And it's nice to have without pumping. Bus compression limiting handled. It's a great track. I appreciate why people like it. Yep, thanks Slim Cheese for that. Good times. Blue Dinner Box, I don't think I have reviewed it before. I don't remember reviewing it. I mean, I might have, and I'm sure that some of you guys know which songs I've done in which live streams. But yeah, I enjoyed. This is the second time I enjoyed listening to it a second time. Uh, what happened? Why was it a good long week, Elvin, or was it kind of a rough one? Hopefully, it was a good long week. And Jacob, hopefully things are going well with you and your family. Hopefully things are good on your ends. Usually I start the live streams with the music news. We're a little bit into it now because I think I was a few minutes late, but that's okay. We're here now. Has there been anything that happened in music news that kind of was interesting or intriguing over the last couple of days? Any new stuff? I know that there's been stuff going on with Ye with like nitrous oxide and stuff like that allegedly. Apparently Taylor Swift is very, very popular today. There is a lot going on with Taylor Swift, so that's kind of nice. It's good that they're doing stuff. Ariana Grande partners with Headcount to give fans a chance to win a trip to the Wicked premiere. So would this be more of a promotion? Suppose it would. Coldplay brings out Shawn Mendes to sing Fix You in Munich. Fujikaze set to live stream the day one of Nissan Stadium concerts. Wow. These stadium performances are expected to draw 140,000 fans over the 2 days. That's cool. By the way, I want to say something here. I know the live stream the other day, I was a bit down and stuff, and I've made it a point just in future to try and be a bit more positive with these live streams, because I know people got stuff going on in their lives, and the last thing they want, as I understand it, or as I can imagine, is to go into a live stream and have someone else sort of bitching about their problems. So I'm going to try and kind of lay off the kind of negative stuff for future live streams and try to focus on getting stuff done and just having good times and vibes and stuff, you know. So I apologize if there's been an issue with previous live streams. I'm not always great with it, but I'm going to try and make another effort to work towards that. Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga released a new music video together. Oh, Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars. Oh, cool. That's cool. That's great. It's interesting. I don't know why I can't. I would they have? Would they have? Would those two? I'm gonna assume they'd have chemistry if they made a song together. They're good enough to know how to work with each other and to figure stuff out. I think that Bruno Mars has done some great stuff with the Silk Sonic stuff, especially, and Lady Gaga. I mean, she was. I've been out of the loop with her recently, but I think she's been in some movies or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, is that right? Has Lady Gaga been in some movies? I know she's in a big movie a while ago, right? Apparently, it's been 8 years since Bruno Mars' last solo project, so that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that it's been 8 years, but I suppose that lends a sense of authenticity, right, to what Bruno Mars does in a sense, because they're doing it because they want to release music. And they don't necessarily, arguably, they don't necessarily feel like they need to, they don't feel like they need to put music out unless they're happy with it. I think that's a really cool thing. Fujikaze really hot. I think Fujikaze is going to put one concert on YouTube. That would be cool. It would be cool to check that out potentially. I'm not sure. I say that. I think, like, personally, watching that concert would be the closest I'd get to watching a Fujikaze concert at this point, because I don't see myself going back to Japan anytime soon. Even though I did enjoy my time there and would like to go back. Japan is very cool. But yeah, hopefully if you are there in person, they have a great time. To commemorate the YouTube live stream, the Karari Star will also make the concert merch available online. I wouldn't actually mind getting some merch from Fujikaze. I like the color schemes that he puts into a lot of his material. I think there's some really beautiful art, especially in his music videos and stuff like that. So that's cool. That's exciting. Well, hopefully it should be good. Apparently, there are going to be Taiking Tsuchimo's on guitar, Naoki Kobayashi on bass, Norihide Saji on drums, Yaffle, who I think has done some production, if I'm not mistaken, with Fujikaze on keyboards, and Takashi Fukuoka on percussions, with Ariwa Asound and Imolez on backing vocals. So it's a full band. That's cool, man. But yeah, that's exciting. So thank you for letting me know about that, Alvin. I appreciate that, as well as Blue Dinner Box. We have another request from Jacob. So we're going to listen through this one as well, and let's just check it out. From Jacob. Now, what has Jacob sent through for us today? Childish Gambino, Lithonia. That's cool. Thank you, Jacob, for that. Here we are. So here, thanks for your request. And let's listen to Lithonia. Lithonia. From Childish Gambino. It'll be on Spotify, I assume. Here we go. Oh, that's not great, is it? That's I'm just gonna take a moment to fix this up. Here we go. That's what we want. I know, guys. It's a little bit stretched over. There we go. Cool. I'm just gonna fix this up as well. I just realized because it affects the YouTube videos as well. To be fair, I'll go back from the start so we can listen through that in full. Lithonia.
Finding out that nobody gives a fuck. I did my job, I paid my dues. Love is for fools, 'cause nobody gives a fuck.
He can really sing quite well, can't he? Have we listened to Childish Gambino sing yet?
Gives a fuck. I feel liberated, over medicated. It was overrated. Tell what you want, I can tell by the look on your face. Let me out of here. I've been gone so long. Don't you know that this is the moment you're watching us throw it away?
It's great to have the distorted guitar and drums and stuff. Yeah, it's a bit of edge to it, you know?
Nobody gives a fuck. I did my job, I paid my dues. Love is for fools, 'cause nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck.
The piano on the end is beautiful with those extensions. And those falsettos, man, are amazing.
He's finding out nobody gives a fuck.
That's great. It's a great song. I mean, like, clearly they're not having a fantastic time. But this is Lithonia from Childish Gambino. So I think that this is someone, judging from the lyrics, who feels like they have had a hard time. They're just completely done with the situation. Whether they've had a break or a moment and that's been shot down in flames, or whether just the love that they've had, they're just broken by the situation they're in their lives. I think ultimately it's kind of it's a sad song, you know. You have a culmination of like a really solid vocal performance there. There's a sense of authenticity from the way the Childish Gambino sings there. It's very straightforward. A little bit of high-hit voice, a little bit of falsetto, some tails on nose, a little bit of vibrato, but ultimately it's just more about a sort of a spoken, sung conversation there where they're just being real with us as listeners. The piano parts or the organs that I heard there niche well with the distorted guitar, bass, and drums there. It almost seems like we're looking for a higher power to figure out what the fuck is going on, right? Because no one gives a fuck. Maybe we thought they did. But it kind of just, again, like, it just seems like so heavy, and I can relate to that. I can kind of relate to what they're talking about a little bit. I think a lot of people can. I mean, Lithonia, Jacob Good mentioning, this song is my mood for the week. Lithonia, a representation of the place the character Cody stays in. So it's just a cry out of frustration for anyone who is down. Well, there we go. And I think the songs like these are important because it kind of lets you know that you're not alone, right? That if you listen to a musician, you understand that even if they're wildly successful and they're doing incredibly well for themselves, they have moments too where things just go to shit. I think those are the moments where like it can be the most sort of like how to describe it, like you can really sort of like get a sort of a link there. If it's genuine, it's really healthy. Clearly if it's not genuine, then it becomes a bit toxic, you know, like the parasocial relationships and stuff like that. But it seems so raw with this for the vocal fry, and I think just the combination of the interesting rockish elements, then almost a ballad format with the way the instruments are tied together within this. We're having a moment with the backing vocals really sweet and the high ends and the sides there. And again, just the strummed guitar at the end part, just like a guy with his guitar alone, you know, nobody gives a fuck. It's just raw, it just cuts at you, and it's just fantastic. It's a fantastic track for how to the point it is. I think ultimately it's just a really solid the theme behind it makes sense. The studio recording, mixing, mastering as well is tight. It's not overproduced. We do just get spoken stuff. There's a bit of vocal fry in some of those parts there where it might also be a bit of fry in an analog compressor to get a bit of that sort of like vintage tone through. Maybe like a tale as old as time. But either way, really great track. I enjoyed listening through it there. It was great use of 3 minutes, no filler. And thank you to Jacob Good for providing that request for us today. So that's the new track, July 2, 2024, and Nobody Gives a Fuck. Yeah. Crazy. It was a solid song, man. Solid track. I hope things are okay with Childish Gambino. I mean, commercially, it seems like they're doing incredibly well for themselves, but you know, like, in the personal life can sometimes be kind of rough too, right? But yeah, that was Childish Gambino. And we are back to music news, thank you. And so what else is happening? Yeah, we're already there, right? Oh, cool. So we need to carry this over to that. Right. So we spoke about the situation for the Fujikaze concert. So that was cool. And I think this might have been the music news. Yeah, so this is Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars and stuff like that, Jai with a Smile. Is it more country? Is this like a lot of musicians working towards the country stuff? Because like a lot of there's been quite a bit of country music. There's been like a surge of country music recently, which has been interesting. What are we in the mood for? Whatever you like, dude. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday. Whatever makes you happy, man. Chill vibes. Whatever makes you happy, dude. So this is what it's about. It's the end of a week. I know for some of you guys it's going to be Friday, so that means you guys got the weekend coming up. And Jacob, while I remember, I caught that. Hopefully things improve for you soon, man. That's your mood for the week, Jacob. I hope things improve for you soon. Because it sucks. It sucks when things are shit and you feel like nobody gives a fuck. I'm sure that people do care about you, my man. I mean, like your kids and everyone like that, your partner and everyone like that. I'm sure they care about you, and hopefully things improve for you soon. Country music is quite stale for years, but some artists are really great recently. Are there any artists that you personally like? I mean, I'm not asking for you to request it. You can if you like, either way, it's fine. But are there any musicians that you would personally recommend? Um, I'm glad it's getting better. That's fantastic. That's good to hear. It sucks when you feel down. Um, because like I look at the country charts and I've got some students that have been learning piano and they like country music and their parents don't necessarily like it, but they do. And a lot of country music nowadays, it seems to be kind of split in the middle between like you have the country aesthetic with like the acoustic kits and a lot of the fiddles and more sort of traditional elements there, which are sort of carried forward, right? And then you simultaneously have some newer country acts which are trying to incorporate a lot of those kind of old school kind of country vibes with like 808s and trap drums and sort of hip hop elements and stuff, and trying to make it sort of a more sort of contemporary experience by trying to put those two ingredients together. And I think it's an interesting experience. I like some of it. I like some of it. Some of it is kind of cool. I suppose it just depends on your angle, right? What you're into, whether you like sort of like the fusion stuff, or whether you prefer the more sort of a traditionalist. I have a lot of songs I can think of sharing together. More than happy to hear them, Alvin. Whatever works for you, as long as that music makes you happy and you enjoy it, that's what matters. Oh, okay, so I've broken it, I think. There we go, it's back to normal. Okay, so Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars channel Dolly Parton and Porter Wagoner. I kind of like, I'm sort of tempted to check this out real quick. Like, listen for like the first 30 seconds of it.
The Cheesecake Shop. Happiness baked here.
It's interesting. It's interesting that they're advertising on YouTube. It's like New Zealand companies have only just realized, hey, if you advertise on YouTube, you can make money because people will visit your stuff, right? This is Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars.
I just woke up from a dream where you and I had to say goodbye. And I don't know what it all means, but since I survived, I realized wherever you go, that's where I'll follow. Nobody's promised tomorrow.
So it's kind of like a combination of Silk Sonic stuff with maybe potentially some country aesthetic there. Oh, right. Yeah, no, there's definitely some country elements. There's some sort of bluesy stuff there. It is very R&B though, with the chord choices there, the band sort of coming into it. I kind of want to just skip ahead to where like both of them come in. Yeah, okay, that gave me chills. That harmony was really gorgeous. I enjoyed that a lot. That's a pretty song. I understand why people like it. It's an interesting sort of decision because I don't necessarily know if they're really paying much homage to like the country roots there. But they're trying to be Dolly Parton. Again, we're trying to be positive. They're trying to be Dolly Parton and well, Dolly Parton, I'm not sure. Yeah, there we go. They're trying to do countryish, R&B-ish, popish stuff, and ultimately, I think that they sound great together. I think that Dolly Parton, Lady Gaga did a fantastic job. I don't know if Dolly Parton's vocal timbre would have necessarily worked as well with Bruno Mars as I think that Lady Gaga. It's just a fun combination. It honestly seems as if one of the joys of this sort of movement we have in music might simply be the fact that different artists are working with each other, Billie Eilish and Charlie XCX, right? They have had a track come out recently, the two of them, that it's quite raunchy. You know, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in that one. But that's blockbuster. And I think for Billie Eilish, if I'm not mistaken, I think that she's actually potentially going to be overtaking The Weeknd as like the biggest artist on Spotify soon. And what I liked about that is I saw that The Weeknd made a message saying that they really enjoyed it. I think that's a beautiful thing, right? I think that that's what you kind of want in the industry. The last thing you want is cannibalism where artists are eating each other. If you can encourage them to be able to. The pair also gave the song its live debut at the Silk Sonic Stars concert at Los Angeles on Thursday night. That would have been a phenomenal way to build things off, man. Imagine being there for that concert, especially if you're really into Bruno Mars and stuff, and finding out that's the sort of dealio you have. That's really cool. But yeah, absolutely. Lady Gaga's vocals are very underrated. She's amazing. I can't really think of that many other lady singers at the moment that can sing like her. I mean, not in a particular style. She's very distinctive, right? It's great to have that level of talent be celebrated, and I think that Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars are a great pairing, which both of them are continuing to find ways to sort of like work off of each other, and I think it's really, really cool. That's great. So that is the new track of today. What else? What else do we have? We have Post Malone goes country for F1 Trillion album. I think Post Malone has been doing country for a while now, haven't they? Didn't they release a country album like in the past, if I'm not mistaken? They really want me to buy pizzas. I do like pizza. Do you guys like Domino's? I think Domino's is kind of good. We have a place where I live called Pizza Trap, and they are like this weirdly exclusive where like you can only get them sometimes because sometimes they just close for no apparent reason. But what I like, there's this other place where they are doing 2 pizzas for 1 at the moment. So you can pay the equivalent of 2 pizzas for this place that's barely open, or you can order 4 for the price of 2 pizzas, and you get lots of pizza. The Pizza Trap one's just slightly better though. So it's like, do I really need 4 pizzas for the price of 2 if the 2 are slightly better? And then you remember that you can have pizza for dinner, and then you can have pizza for breakfast, and then you can have pizza for lunch and dinner as well. But yeah, pizza's good, man. Pizza's my favorite food, dude. I love pizza. Kim Kardashian. Now, Papa John's. I'm sorry I didn't. Why am I apologizing? It makes me say Papa John's. It got kind of a weird accent to it. Papa John. They're like a mythical creature in New Zealand. We don't have a Papa John's as far as I'm aware. What is Papa John's like? Is Papa John's worth getting? Like, if I was to go over to the States at some point, do you think it's worth going to get that? Are there Papa John's in other parts of the world? I've heard interesting things about the individual themselves, you know? Kim Kardashian says her son Saint tries to set her up with athletes. If only you knew. Ah, that's crazy. So, like, I was because I was having a think about it. I was trying to figure out how old their kids were, as if it was something I would know. I mean, to be fair, I think that Kanye West, Ye, and Kim Kardashian were pretty public a lot of the time they were together. You know, you keep a track on their kids pretty well without even necessarily trying to. Papa John's exists in China, but I haven't tried it in China. That's interesting to me because, like, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, the different pizza places they have different, they have different, they have different flavors and different recipes, right? I specifically know McDonald's does because when I went to Japan recently, the McDonald's had a different menu to what they have in New Zealand, as well as in Australia, because I went through Australian airports as well, man. Um, they have some interesting ideas there. I kind of like the McDonald's in Japan better, but you know what, Denny's. If you guys ever gone to a Denny's, the Japanese Denny's are absolutely where it's at. There's like 100 of them in like Tokyo. There's just so many of them and so many of them. And whenever you go to a Denny's, you're gonna have a good time because they actually care about the food they're making. And New Zealand, like I think that they try their best. I don't know if the Denny's in New Zealand is as good as the Denny's in Japan. Granted, the Denny's in Japan, I don't know how they handle their monolithic. Like, I don't know how they handle all the different types of food they have in Denny's in Japan. Like, there's like 10 or 20 pages of different meals that they offer you when you go to a Denny's in Japan. But it's very, very good. Very, very good. And I suppose TLDR, I want to try Papa John's. If you haven't gone to a Denny's in Japan, go because it'll probably be better than Denny's anywhere else you've been. Denny's is fantastic in Japan. See, here we go. Here we go. And now we've got Taylor Swift and Ed Sheeran now trying to do stuff. Mashup at Wembley Eras Tour. The pair also sang parts of Endgame and Thinking Out Loud. So it's a lot of this now is like collaborations, right? They're really trying to get the most sort of bang for their buck out of it. I think they're kind of like feeding off of each other. I kind of I like the fact that people are singing along with it. I think that it would have been a better video if there weren't people singing along with it, but to be fair, it is a Taylor Swift concert. I've never been to Denny's, even in the US. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's good in the US. I'm not sure. I mean, that's where Denny's came from, as I understand. It came from the US. But yeah, ultimately, I think if you're into Denny's, go for Denny's. If you're not into Denny's, don't go for Denny's. Either way, Denny's is good foods, in my opinion, in Japan. So I think that we've seen lots of collabs today. Lady Gaga confirmed Die with a Smile collab and she release day. Chappelle Rowan, she was taught to go. And I feel like that's probably enough of the music news. By the way, just in case people are waiting on me to go through the music news to do it, I mean, like, it's cool if we want to do the music news. To be fair, I think it's probably good for people to check up on what's happening with music. I don't know whether there's like how often do you find yourselves actually going through music websites to find out stuff with news? I haven't paid attention to the pop industry in a long time. This has been a great way to learn new things. London Boy, so she's debuting that. Young Thugs in a trial. The Dream calls sexual assault lawsuit false and defamatory. Here, RZA Cinematic Orchestral composition of Ballet Through Mud. But in the meantime, we have more important things to do than listen to RZA. We have a request from Alvin. Thank you, Alvin. I appreciate that. It shall be good to listen to this. What song do we have today? This is by Serini. Apparently. Thanks for the request. I keep scratching that key there. Submitted a different song for tonight. Well, that's cool. It'll be good to hear it. We've got one in the queue. Alvin K. What have we got? Serini, titled That's. We got boop. We shall hear a different song. Oh. That's pretty. I gotta put it into default view, right?
早逝為了讓我飄進夢裏，現世戀對戀我怎愛下去？日見面卻又無形恐懼，又流汗邊。
I feel like it'd be like, we got blocked when it was big last time, right? We got blocked last time it was big. Oh, yeah, because we made it like this, right? And we made it like default view. Yeah, so it's a bit bigger now. Cute cat, though. Serene, my lady. Great shift of the drums here, good job. Wasn't expecting the shift like that. Kind of gave me a bit of a fright, to be honest. Just a sudden, whoosh, you know, is it split in two? Great retardando here, fantastic work. Gorgeous track. So that was, I will let it play out with the animation. So that was Serene with My Lady. What is this track about? A lot of the story, from what I gathered, seemed to be talking about their own sort of anxiety and their reflection and their own sort of, their wish to sort of have a sense of calm amongst all the kind of craziness going on there. They talked about infatuation and a vice and all that. Maybe they got involved with someone and they realized they couldn't control that attraction, or it got a little bit out of control. So they needed to get away from that and find sort of like a safe haven within themselves. That's kind of my understanding of it. I think that the singer is tremendous, great sort of vocal technique and the hidden chest voice there. There's a sort of a consistency with the way we expressed ourselves there, which made it very soothing sounding and sort of like predictable in a way that was positive. There, you could kind of appreciate, and kind of any tangents would come back to the bass there. And I think that even when we had sort of tempo drops there, we kind of came back up. We had some sort of harsher textures there, some very sudden shifts there where things had changed or adjusted, and we kind of potentially had to sort of step back from the kind of rush we're feeling to kind of find equilibrium again. Ultimately, the singer delivered, and The note choices were great there and worked really well amongst the color of the arrangement. You had some interesting sort of like patty elements there with a really energetic piano line. The twinkles, da 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 da, kind of worked between octaves or fifths there. I kind of appreciate the work making a sparkling arpeggio there amongst like the bass elements there, which are a lot more sort of cozy sounding in a quite a complicated arrangement already there. You kind of just want a bit of comfort there, which is kind of maybe what we're talking about trying to find loving thoughts and all that. With the drums there, a sense of like pace with the eighths and sixteenths there, an interesting groove overall with the variations of some of those parts. It was great to have the drums not be there all the time though, to have pauses and allow the song to be a bit more exciting because of the okay, to kind of juxtapose the way we're trying to sort of maintain a balance with the vocals for the instrumentation behind it to be a bit sort of adjusted there. It was very free form and organic. I think that the composition was really tight there. Interesting sound design across the stereo field and the frequency spectrum there. Great sense of dynamic range to it. Ultimately, very, very well done. They can sing. They played well. Thank you to Alvin for your request of this track from an act named Serene titled My Lady. Yeah, Jacob, absolutely great vibes. For sure. Really enjoyed my time with it. It's a song where I think that you could... Is a lot of their other stuff like this? Is this like a consistent thing across their discography, or? I mean, either way. I mean, they're almost at 100K subscribers, which is pretty dope. So hopefully they continue. Yeah, the arrangement gives me fairer vibes. Yeah, I think that they're... I say yes. Like, if we go to the YouTube channel real quick. So it seems like a lot of the stuff is like that. They seem like they have quite an organic sort of channel there. They're facebook.com/slay. Yeah, I kind of adore it. A lot of musicians nowadays are kind of throwing a lot of the expectations of a lot of bands in regards to marketing out of the window there. We're really going for some alternate stuff and the way we sort of present stuff and kind of going against it. You need to have a completely sort of like, how to describe it? Like a formatted, easy to understand, slick kind of marketing line. We just have people that have slay as like the URLs, but they're still getting traction because people are interested in that. Sorry about that. I had a Coke before the live stream. But that was cool. Is there any other news though that we had today? Any other news? I mean, we've already talked about the Lady Gaga thing. Can we go back from that? No, we can't. So we've already gone to that. Music news. Cool. And NME first music news. Oh no, Beat King dies. See, that's quite young. 39 years old is young. I mean, for anyone. Clearly. Hi, Shinyuda. How you doing? Welcome to the live stream. We've been doing music news as well as some requests today. It's been good to see. Green Day is getting older now. Oh, what? Watch Green Day speed through super fast version of Good and Riddance Time of Your Life as fans leave for Big Lightning Storm. That's a hell of a way to make an exit. Keep walking, urged Billy Joe Armstrong between hyper quick verses. Green Day had to speed through a super fast version of Good Riddance as a lightning storm closed in on a St. Louis show on Thursday. At the show... Oh, okay.
Okay, you guys, that's it. We gotta get you out of here because there's a big lightning storm that's coming right now.
Thank you so fucking much.
Thank you so much. Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. I got you by the wrist and direction ready to go. So make the best of this test on us by. It's not a question, but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. Keep walking. So take the photographs and some things in your mind.
See, that's Can you oil up for me? No. No. I like your profile pic though. It's a birdie. It's like a little budgie or something like that. That's cool.
A good time. Debt is a memories of dad's gonna trial. For what it's worth, it was worth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. Thank you!
Good job. That stage presence right there. That's a band that knows they've got their place and they're taking care of the crowd and making sure they're getting out of there. I think that's fantastic. I appreciate the fact they're taking care of the fans like that. That's cool. It's a cute bird, man. Frank is a cute bird. We got a request though from Shinyidar, I think. This track is for, what do we got? Your request. This track is for a song titled, what do we got? Hey, Chthonic and Collage. I know those guys. I've reviewed them before. I think we've reviewed those before. So it'd be good to hear more of it, eh? Let's do it. Chthonic and Collage. Put that down there. What do we have in store for us today? 1,000 eyes. Cool. Her vocals are gorgeous, dude. The guitar tone's a little bit sharp, but it still goes quite well with the arrangement. By the way, I've just realized, Dinohe, Blue Dunbox, if you're watching this, I'm aware that I'm going to play your track as well. So get through this afterwards. Almost nature today. And back to the main lead. Interesting vocal tones of the guy as well. Like they're kind of like the growly vocals, right? Great harmony there as well. Just having a look for captions there as well. Yeah, I think it was a cool song. Like, there's a lot of really interesting stuff going on with the vocals as well as the guitar, bass, drums, and the synth parts. The thing that concerns me though, I don't mean to be, I'm not being a DB Downer, right? The thing that kind of concerns me about it, this track from an ex named Chthonic and Collage, titled 1000 Eyes, that vocal technique that the guy's got sounds really hard on his throat. And I'm just hoping that the guy is doing it in a way where it's safe, because it would be a shame if they could not continue to do these kind of gigs because they sort of ripped up their vocal cords. If I was going to be sort of transparent about it, that's the only concern I have. I think that it's a really interesting composition. The growl doesn't quite gel with me, not the style I prefer, but overall. I mean, like, I think that the way it's sung is fantastic. The lady's voice sits so nicely in the mix, whether it's the distorted guitars or like kind of the clean sort of reverby kind of like wistful ones. The bass drums, the keys, they come together. She handles whatever is thrown at her, and there's a great presence in the mix there. A little bit of vocal fry occasionally, a bit of extra kind of edge to it, which is kind of sick to listen to. Suits the music quite well, minor sort of tones to it. And we comfortably sort of go between her head and chest voice. And the guy behind her that's working alongside her, either with clean harmonies occasionally or with the kind of growled, kind of screamy vocals. Again, I'm hoping the vocal tone is done in a way where it's healthy. I'm going to assume it is, because again, we're trying to sort of like keep things nice and sort of like chill today. But it's a song where the vocal style, I get why we might have wanted a bit of edge to it, just to kind of create maybe a bit of a contrast to the purity of the lady singer's voice. So I think texturally, it's an interesting combination that I think works for the most part. The song is long at 4 minutes 42, but there's no filler. The way we sort of layer and sort of go between sections is effortless there. Lots of interesting ideas, again, with the clean guitars melded with the arpeggios, melding into some of the power chordal bits there with some interesting sort of like lead patterns on top there. The bass niching well with the other elements within the arrangement there, sort of very supportive in that low to mids of the root notes of the chords. The drums there, nice sort of like fluidity across the kit there, not afraid to show a bit of spice in there occasionally, but ultimately still kind of pocketing when we need to. The synth's a bit of a fuzzy sort of like tone and texture to it, which was a nice bit of mid-range foil and a little bit of, sort of like dangerous suspense to it. And there was a lot, it was like we went on a big adventure. And again, that solo section on the guitar with like the wah pedal as well was wonderful. We voiced that solo section really nicely. It is a big stage, Jacob. You're right. Thank you, Shinyuda, by the way, for your request. It is a big stage. It's requested this track from Action Chthonic and Collage, sort of 1000 Eyes. I haven't listened to this track before, but I have listened to Chthonic, and I typically have a great time with them. And they're a very professional band. And the growl doesn't quite gel with me, not the style I prefer, but overall nice arrangement of the song. Absolutely, I'd have to go with that, Jacob. But I would agree with that statement. So it's good to have that put forward. And then what do we have next? We have Dinner Hay. Another track though from Dinner. We have a track from Dinner Hay and then another one from Shinyuda. Hang on. I'm just gonna be right back, okay? Be right back. And then I'm gonna just turn my camera off for a moment. There we go. All good. And there we are. Back. I'm just going to change the battery because I typically need to at this point anyways. I figure it's good to get ahead of the curve, right? But I think we actually have a Taylor Swift song, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Taylor Swift one. And it's good to be listening to more Taylor Swift. Wasn't always a fan of her stuff when I was growing up. I found, because I was into like the heavy stuff because I was one of those edgy teenagers, you know. But it's good, you know. Apparently, there's been some interesting stuff come out from Taylor Swift. It's gonna make sure it's still kind of light balanced in the headphones there. And that side's fine. Logo. There we go. Cool. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. More Taylor Swift time. And this is from Miss Blue Dinner Box. Where is it? Have I said thank you to Dinner Hey there? I have not. There we go. Awesome. Thanks for your request. Excellent. We have 7 Taylor Swift chord here. Open up Spotify, get into it, get it down here.
Please picture me in the trees. I hit my peak at 7 feet in the swing over the creek. I was too scared to jump in, but I was high
Sorry about that. Sometimes I forget I'm big.
in the sky with Pennsylvania under me. Are there still beautiful things? Sweet tea in the summer, cross your heart, won't tell no other. And though I can't recall your face, I still got love for you. Your braids like a pattern, love you to the moon and to Saturn. Passed down like folk songs, the love lasts so long.
It's beautiful. Thank you for this, Dinner Hey. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. It's great with the really somber sounding keys and the guitar parts and the shakers coming in. Lots of range with the different vocal melodies throughout it.
And I've been meaning to tell you, I think your house is haunted. Your dad is always mad, and that must be why. And I think you should come live with me, and we can be pirates. Then you won't have to cry or hide in the closet. And just like a folk song, our love will be passed on. Please picture me in the weeds before I learned civility. I used to scream ferociously anytime I wanted.
Not bad.
Sweet tea in the summer, cross my heart, won't tell no other. And though I can't recall your face, I still got love for you. Pack your dolls in a sweater, we'll move to India forever. Pass down like folk songs, our love lasts so long.
A little bit of adjustment to the drum groove at this point when there's space in the mix. Good job. That was cool. Yeah, okay, that's another side of Taylor Swift I haven't really seen before. I'm not gonna pretend that it was like the most amazing, incredible track that I've heard, but that isn't the point of it. The point is for me to review it. The song from an act named Taylor Swift titled Seven. I think that it's a really pretty song. The story, I think, is about her sort of commiserating her feelings and affections and memories with like a younger kid that maybe she knew when she was a child, and they've still got, like, maybe it's like childhood love or something, like childhood sweethearts or something like that. You just get the feeling they've got all these sort of fantasies about going to India together, packing dolls in a sweater and all that kind of stuff. The childhood fantasies, the adventures that go on, and kind of trying to imagine them before they learn civility and all that kind of stuff. Maybe going for that nostalgia, wanting things to be back the way they used to be. I'm not sure, but either way, I think that it's a cool track. I think Taylor Swift sung it well. Great sort of variety of different vocal melodies and harmonies within it. Harmonies occasionally for effect. Really great tone to the recording. Enjoyed my time with that. I think that she sang quite well and sang in a way that made sense with the instrumental parts in the background there. I think the drum, bass, piano, sort of like the electric keys and guitar is very nice mix there. We didn't have all of them coming at once. They added more as we went along. And I think that was a smart move, primarily because if you have everything at once, it can just be a bit overwhelming. So, and in that aspect, I think if we were sort of like analyze it, it's like just having the keys and the guitar are kind of softer layers, match the softness of a voice there. There's a bit of complexity within the extended harmonies and stuff like that kind of illustrate there's more to meets the eye than this, and you get more of the story as you go on through. You then have like the bass and drums as we go further forth, sort of again elevate, stabilizing the lower end. Plus, it just, I suppose, changing the actual feel of the track and the way that is interesting. We don't just have ourselves in a position where we're left with a similar kind of feel throughout there. The drums, even though they're quite low key with the tone of them, the guitar, the drums, the kick, the snare, and the cymbal parts, they still have a bit of sort of somber sparkle to them. They have a bit of a sheen in the mix, but they're also trying to be sort of like more low key acoustic there to not kind of bring the mood up too much. It's not meant to be high energy stuff. And you combine the uncertainty of the chord progressions and the eyes there with the major focus for a loss of it, for the majority of it, an overall kind of like softness that's with the vocal performance there, which is kind of gentle and almost like again has a nostalgia for the feel. And you combine those different elements together, and it's a song where you walk out of it kind of having an appreciation for the angle that we have. That's quite a contrast to a lot of Taylor Swift's more sort of like well-known sort of poppy stuff. This song is not that popular compared to other songs. Potentially not. I mean, like, I kind of enjoy it. I think it's a cool song. I think that if people are used to are sort of like more sort of like energetic, sort of bombastic stuff, this might be a little bit of a switch to them, but like it's cool. People like what they like. Successful musician regardless. Well-made song, well-produced. The lack of polish in the production, like it sounds commercial grade, but we're not trying to make it into like this exquisite kind of pretty little kind of pop single there. We're allowing it to be a bit more sort of rustic sounding, and I enjoy that. It's great to be different. But thank you to Dinahay for that request. I appreciate it. It's a good song to listen to. I'm glad I heard it. I'm starting to like more of Taylor Swift's music. I think that's kind of why albums are still good in this day and age. If you don't listen to albums, there's stuff that you might miss, right? We've got another couple of tracks from Shin Yi-da that we're going to listen through as well. So thank you to Shin Yi-da for those. I appreciate it. Thanks for your requests. Thanks for your request. It really fits COVID lockdown time, though. Yeah, I think a lot of people were probably doing a little bit of introspection during that time, looking back at their childhoods, where they've come from. I don't know if you guys ever think back on the COVID time, but it was wild. It was a crazy time, man. Most of us managed to get through it. Not everyone, because a lot of people became sick and, sadly a lot of people passed away, but most of us got through it. And I think it's great that we have another chance at an open world now, where we can hopefully not make the same mistakes next time that we might have done the first time in certain situations, depending on how your viewpoints and stuff. But anyways, we have got the song that Shinyida has recommended. I'm not sure what it is yet, but we're going to find out. I'm going to just add that there. Oh, hang on, I get it. So, yeah. Having a think. Oh, it's the back button. Right. That's cool. It's also kind of crazy to think that COVID was at least 2 years ago. I know that there's still people getting sick from COVID, but people are seemingly a little bit more worried about stuff like the monkeypox now. When you're damn sure that when COVID was around, everyone was focused on COVID, right? Unless you thought it was like a scam or something like that, I don't know. But anyway. Amazing show. The King of Light. This is cool. Been a while since I listened to the Amazing show. And we get to check out more of it. Oh, the bass tone is glorious, dude. Interesting sound design with the synth going left to right like that. Trade off to a lead guitar, nice. Would Logan accept a video of a fan filming a Logan concert? A fan filming a Logan concert? I'm not sure what that means. What's a Logan concert? You mean like me playing stuff? A fan filming a Logan concert. I mean that I'm not sure. I'm kind of, what's a Logan concert? Is it like a fan filming a concert for like another Logan? I am curious. Oh, a bit of itchiness to those lead guitars, nice. Oh, there's one song that doesn't have an official version, just a live video. That is totally fine. That's totally fine. Thank you for asking. That's totally fine. Totally okay. I understand now. Oh, fantastic energy there. And like the wow, 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 the bass, like the slides there, acting almost like a riser for like an electronic thing is just really clever as well. And going into halftime. That's fantastic. That's a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Thank you, Shin Yida. I'm not really sure what to make of this track. King of Light featuring KOL. I'm not sure what the song is about. I think that the singer had a great attitude. Had a really distinctive voice with lots of confidence and charm to it. It was an exciting song. Had the whole band behind them, which was kind of dope. I think ultimately it was the kind of energy you needed for a lot of those rocky, bluesy elements there. And it made listening through it quite cool. I wasn't sure where we were going with it past the 4-minute mark, but I liked the fact we eventually went to that halftime part. Kind of came back to go into this falsetto range, almost like a power metal vocalist, like kind of thing eventually, which is kind of neat. There was a lot of really cool ideas within us. And I think that I don't think there was any filler within it. But yeah, the singer nailed it. Great sort of vocal technique there. Very easy to listen to. Lots of fun. The track with the guitar, synth, bass, and drums was enigmatic. What does enigmatic mean? Let me just Google that. Enigmatic. Am I using that correctly? No. I'm sorry. It's not enigmatic. That is not the right word for it. I apologize. That is a different word. I need to not use that anymore. Okay, what's another word that describes the song? Exciting. It's intriguing. It's got a great sense of groove and pace. It's fun to listen along to. And I think that again, like the driving force of the guitars there, with interesting sort of bluesy kind of pentatonic shapes with some of the bends there and distortion, a bit of kind of edge and sass to it there. Great use of chromatics. The bam, 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 really catchy lead line on the synths as well were a nice foil of what was going on with some of the non-melodic parts of the vocals. The bass line, the bass tone was filthy there. It wasn't just that we stuck to the root notes, we sort of these slides upwards, we kind of went wow, 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 like that as well, which is really, really exciting. It was fun to listen to as well. And the drums as well were excellent. Great sense of pace with them, interesting offbeat hi-hats there, chord note grooves there, pushing all day long. Fantastic. It was cool. I think it's a good song. I think they smashed it. And I would want to probably listen to it again just to kind of hear how all the pieces fit together, but nonetheless had an interesting time with it. And I think you get a lot of value from a track like this if you understand the lyrics. So I imagine that if you know those lyrics natively, you're going to have an even better time with it. So again, thank you, Shin Yida, for that. I appreciate it. That song has been reviewed. What do we have next? We have Ace. We have another couple from Shin Yida, which is all good. Thank you, Shin Yida, for those. So that is, what is this next one we've got? We have got oh, so this is Yellow at the BKD Club. So that's cool. So this is the next one from Shin Yida. Thank you to Shin Yida. It'd be good to hear some more Yellow. Now this is the test, isn't it? How someone sings when they're absolutely live outside of the music studio situation. Oh, he's dancing along to it. Nice. Oh.
Light the killer gold, roses and ride a bouquet, don't be very more. 谁最把你照顾？忘了学生说，生命是最奢侈的漂流。他才会走，我怕羞。
He sings just as well. And like live as on the shows and in the studio recordings. That's tremendous. And stage presence. But shout out to the drummer for that rhythm groove. That's incredible, dude. That organ sounds phenomenal, dude. Incredible. Incredible effort. Holy crap, that's amazing. Excellent effort. Amazing. See, they just look like they're having a great time. This is what I love about live concerts. When you've got nothing to hide, when you can just play your instruments, when you can sing well, you have situations like this. This is Yellow at the BKD Club. I've heard this track before. And they sang it just as well, Huang Zhuan and the band. They sung and played it just as well live as they would have in the studio. And there's a great sort of feel to the way we perform. It's not just that we're singing things well. We're kind of like interacting with the audience. There's great stage presence there. We're letting things kind of like sit and kind of hang for a bit. And ultimately, it's just charming because you have someone who is not just able to sort of be very proficient at what they do, but also go beyond that and really kind of enhance the experience by saying, "Hey, like I see you in the crowd. I see you were there. I want you to enjoy this as much as I'm enjoying myself on stage." And that's the mastery of being a front person, being a singer or a songwriter. It's just nailed it. I think it's also worth sort of pointing out a lot of the really cool stuff that was going on from other musicians involved with this. One of the instrumentalists that I think did extraordinarily well is the drummer. There was just such a great pace, groove, and vibe to the way they were playing there with a lot of the sort of like rim sort of movements there, the stick patterns there, working with the kick snares and such. Great sort of jazzy implementations there in a way that did not take away focus from the singer, but also what was quite cool simultaneously gave them a sense of identity and edge within the mix regardless. Like they found a way to pocket without pocketing. And I kind of adore the fact that they had so much stuff going on there whilst presenting a sense of groove and pace there. A lot of the power of that is ghost notes, but it's also just situationally as a drummer, they're trying to make things easier for the guitar, bass, the rest of the keys, the rest of the section there. I just think they found a great equilibrium between those two elements there, being supportive whilst also having their own identity in the mix with the different patterns and stuff they played there. They knew to slow stuff down. They knew to keep a constant pace. They knew to sort of allow more room for other elements like the bass or the synths or some of the other guitar parts or whatever. And they shone through, dude. It was awesome. The synth parts with the organ tone, the organ had such a phenomenal sort of like color and chime and shimmer to it as well. It was wonderful to listen to. The bass playing was wonderful as well. It had a great tone to the bass there, so full of life and vigor, and the leveling of the mix as well in general was solid, really tight. I think that the piece there, it was mostly to sort of show the vocals as the focal point, but also what I appreciate again is the other instrumentals, just like the drummer, they had their times to shine, and it was more of a sort of like it had a great sense of chemistry overall. You know, you could see like Huang Zhuan like interacting with the bassist as well as the drummer as well as everything else, and everyone just seemed like having a great time. And you know, like they smashed it. It was an awesome performance. Thank you to Shin Yida for requesting this track today. This cover, this live performance here. Again, they absolutely nailed it. It was awesome. What else do we have today? We have one more from Shin Yida. And that's okay. One more from Shin Yida. I'm just checking I've done the rest of them. What do we have? We have Billy. This might be the live stream one, right? Or the one where people recorded it, right? That's cool. We can check this out as well. That's fine. So this is Yellow, Dead or Alive. So we've got this 22-10-05. I don't mind doing this primarily because, like, if it's the only way we get an actual performance of it, it's totally fine. Oh, dude, he's singing Coldplay. Nice. You might have mentioned this before, actually, but, like, either way, I enjoy it. It's a little bit more exciting, arguably, than the Coldplay version, right? They captured it in square. That's the interesting for me. They've taken this video and it's square. Oh, it's wanting me to log in. That's okay. There we go. We passed it. There we are. Wait, there's multiple drummers. There are multiple drummers on stage. Can you see there's like 1 to 2 different drum kits as well? That's cool. I like the fact that they're splitting it up there. Is that for a specific tone per section or something like that? There we go. Good job. Crowd control. Again, it's great that he's calling out to the crowd. I love that. I'm so happy for that, man. Interesting chord choice there. Awesome, well done. He likes to throw stuff into the stand. Did he throw his microphone into the stand? No, he didn't. Excellent. That was awesome. That was great. Thank you, Shin Yudo, for sending that through. That was an act named Yellow singing Yellow. Yellow singing Yellow. So what was this track is about? See, I kind of zoned out there. I wasn't really listening to the lyrics. It's one of those kind of like false pretense things where you just assume because it's in English that you know the lyrics, but you don't. I was listening to his singing. I thought it was a tremendous take on the original. Let's just have a quick look through the lyrics just to make sure I'm right about this. Yellow lyrics. Lyrics. Okay, this time. So it is what I thought it was. So I was like trying to sort of like assume it was like something where it was just like that things were happy and things were good all around and everything like that. But I think that this track is actually more aimed towards the concept of the singer saying that this person is yellow and that everything's quite positive around them and that they make a lot of sort of sacrifices to be with this person, if I'm not mistaken there. So I think if that's the case they're going for, I think that's kind of dope. I think it's actually a really beautiful kind of deep track that Coldplay put out. I've never really been super fond of Coldplay, but I appreciate that a lot of people like their music, and I understand why it does. It follows the fundamentals of music there. You know, the guy has a distinctive voice where if you enjoy it, you really enjoy it, and you can easily sort of like play along with it and kind of like sit with it and kind of appreciate it. The music is very palatable. The instrumentalists in Coldplay are really great musicians as well, though I'm not really super hot on the singer. I've seen some live performances where maybe things haven't been super awesome from Coldplay themselves, but Yellow Great vocal performance here. Sold it really well. Put his own spin on it. I think the rest of I mean, I know that Huang Zhuan and Yellow's like the band, right? But I think that the band behind them as well played a really sort of loyal cover of it. It was very respectful to the original there. They put a lot of effort into trying to kind of envision the initial intent was giving Yellow enough room to do their different sort of like melodic sort of phrases and stuff in a way that's very positive. The piece itself, it was a equivalent there. There was great sort of crowd chemistry there with the Huang Zhuan trying to sort of interact with the vocalists as well. There was the singer, the crowd, the audience there as well was good. And ultimately, a combination of really sort of cheery sounding guitar chords with the bass line underneath that suited the texture of those crisper, kind of like those kind of the frizzy sounding guitar tones, with the drums underneath kind of moving forward with that consistent eighth groove there, very sort of like soothing and satisfying. It was a nice combination of elements that made for a motif overall that does kind of shine and shimmer, and you can kind of appreciate why they're singing the story they did. And the leveling and mixing is good. The post production was tight. I think that overall, the band played well, singer sang well, great track, good cover, made it their own, nicely done. Nicely done. I think that may be us for today, though. So, sub shredders. Gotta remember, as the queue is now at 0, I am going to be closing requests. Thanks for your songs so far. Appreciate it. I think this has been a better live stream today. I think that we've had some good chats and some good talks. Hopefully, if you've gotten a song request through, it's been worthwhile. It's been interesting to hear. I want to thank, who do I want to thank? I want to thank Lim Cheese. Thank you to Lim Cheese, Jacob Good, Alvin K, Shin Yida, and Dinahe for your requests today. I've appreciated all of them. And yeah, hopefully you guys stay cool, stay safe, and remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time as they need the help more than ever. Thought of crazy stuff going on. I will see you later, Blue Dinner Box, for everyone else involved. Have a fantastic weekend. And yeah, Spider hands out. 3